Okay guys, so this is my review on the Eonon 9150A for the BMW E46. So far it's been a great unit with only a few issues that I've had to get resolved. Mine of course has a custom launcher on it because the stock one's alright, but sometimes when you place apps on the home screen, like on the main home screen, it crashes, and I don't like that. I just like the way this looks better, and plus I have the music selector here and the time and everything I need. And it's got some cool features, like if you press the time, it'll just go into this dark mode and stuff. This is called I think this is car launcher, and it's got a few settings you can change in here, and there's 3 different layouts for this, so I like to use this one. But overall the unit is very fast and responsive. It wakes up real fast. Like, I'll show you guys. So from off position, it goes to sleep rather than shutting off, so whenever next time you turn it on, super quick, comes up almost instantly. And usually it's on the screen you left off, but sometimes it'll come back with an app or two that you didn't open and you have to close it and stuff. But other than that, I mean, the unit's been great. Of course you get your Google Maps navigation that you can use, and you got your music. Any app you can get for your tablet or phone you can put on here, and I use Spotify for my music, so that's that. And you know, the unit itself was really easy to install, and they even send you a backup camera. So for me, if I go and do reverse, it automatically launches the backup camera, so that's cool. Overall, I mean, it's super fast. The apps and stuff launch quickly, so like, here's an app I don't have open, Waze. It should launch fairly quickly. So yeah, it's pretty quick. It's got 4 gigs of RAM, an 8-core CPU, I think. An amplifier. You can change all the audio settings in your car and your sub levels. I have an aftermarket sub, so I can change the intensity of that there. It's got your fader. You can change the speakers in which location you want them to play more at. So mine's like in the middle, kind of a little bit towards the back. Some other cool things in here. There's a few things that don't work, like it comes with some sort of steering wheel function here. I think you're supposed to be able to change your steering wheel keys, but I haven't figured out how to make this work. Some people say press and hold the steering wheel button, but I mean, if I do something like this button, press and hold it, you know, nothing happens. And I wish I could change this button to something else at all entirely, but looks like it doesn't let you. So there's some annoying things on here. And you can hook up a front camera and you can view it here. It's even got a DVR, I think, so you can record stuff and save it on here. Bluetooth works okay. Not the best audio quality on Bluetooth. I don't have mine connected here. I usually just use onboard music because it sounds much better. So I use Spotify, and right now I have it connected to my hotspot on my phone, and that's how I usually just use it, hotspot, and then use the onboard apps. I have it kind of set up to use Android Auto as well, using an app called Head Unit Reloaded. So you just plug up your phone and it immediately launches Android Auto like it would in any other Android Auto car. So that's what I use sometimes. The audio quality, like I said, it's much better if you play stuff from the unit itself than you do from Wi-Fi. I mean Bluetooth, because the Bluetooth really cuts down on the quality of the music and stuff. And then another thing with Bluetooth is your call. And with me, the call quality isn't the greatest. I don't know if it's like usually on their end or whatnot. Usually, sometimes it's clear, I think, especially if the person's calling over 4G. But most of the time, since I live in a area where there's not much service, some people don't have much service, the calls sound terrible. That might be service related, not the unit, but whenever I talk, the mic quality in here isn't that great. I mean, it can pick up, like with the assistant with Google Now and stuff, it picks up okay. Sometimes it won't hear you, or the road noise is too loud, or stuff like that, but so it's okay. It's not the best of quality, but it's okay. I had the older unit, the 51 something, and that unit only had 1 gig of RAM, so for me this was a really great upgrade. Like you see, flipping screens in here, it's fairly fast. Overall, it's a great unit. I mean, I had to get back to them because sometimes when I'm playing Spotify, my my steering wheel skip keys don't skip music. So if I play it right now, let's see if it'll do it. So right now it's working, but randomly it won't skip. It'll just beep at me and does nothing. And that only seems to happen in Spotify. If I'm doing the Bluetooth music, it almost always works. I haven't ever had an issue with it like that. So that might just be a Spotify issue, or it might just be the unit's issue, I'm not sure. You can use your OBD scan tool with it. I think some units come preloaded with torque. I know that this one might have had it. I don't see it right here because you might have to download it or enable it, but if you have the OBD adapter for this unit, I think they sell it separately, then you can use torque on that. Other than that, I mean, the unit's pretty good. Would I recommend it? Yes, to anybody who's got an older unit. Now, if you got a newer unit, or a unit that's not that old, I don't know if I exactly recommend the Eonon units. I think my next unit's going to be from Extron's, the 9-inch model. That's all screen and just some touch buttons on the side. Just because they seem to have a little bit more, a little bit less issues with them. But I mean, this unit hasn't had too many issues, just aside from the skipping. It's worked all the time, hasn't crashed at all. So I mean, I'm happy with it for the price. I think I only paid, I got it on sale, $320 or so. So it's pretty good for that price. I think right now they're selling these for $390 on their site. This is the A model, not the B. The B has different buttons, layouts, and everything else is the same on the B model. So if you want to get that, that'd be cheaper. Wiring and installation was super easy. You just pop off the trim here in my car and then pop the old unit out. Of course, your AC you got to relocate down here, and then pop this one in. Cables and everything comes with the car, so harnesses and stuff. You just plug the harnesses in. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to run the backup camera because you gotta wire it all the way from the trunk into the unit. I think I went around that around there, and then routed it through the glove box and then behind the unit, above the glove box, not through the glove box. And then I routed USB and stuff into the glove box so I can use Android Auto with the unit. Radio I don't ever use, so I can't really comment on that. But I mean, it works. Whatever station you got in your let's see. Like, I don't even know if I have the radio enabled here. Yeah, I think I disabled the radio because I never use it. And you can disable apps by going to the settings. So a lot of times I think it's under car and then extra features. Or no, not extra features. You go to factory settings. And then the code for this is 126, I believe. And then, okay. Yep. Okay, so it goes into factory settings. And then you can disable stuff here, like the radio I have disabled, it says no. And then iPod, no. I don't know what the iPod thingy is. But DVR right now is set to USB mode, so for me to have a DVR for like a dash cam or something, I'd have to have a flash drive or a hard drive connected to it. HDMI is off. You can use tire pressure monitor sensors. I know that they make some that are supported by Android, so you can use that, and supported by this unit. And there's a TV tuner in here, which if that's your thing, you can get TV with, I think it's antenna or whatever. My DVD is enabled, but I never use DVDs, so I could disable that. Bluetooth, I'm not entirely sure what these settings are for Bluetooth, so I'm just gonna leave that as is. You can change your car logo, but you know, this is a BMW, so why would you? Everything else can change in here. Like, this is a key study, which kind of works like that wheel key thingy, but once again, this doesn't change much other than the actual panel itself. It doesn't work with the steering wheel. Then you can adjust some other functionality of the unit, like your brightness adjust. Mine's controlled by headlamps. It doesn't lower the brightness that much by headlamps, so if my headlamps are on, which they are right now, that's the brightness. If they're off, it gets slightly brighter. I wish that it'd dim it more, because this unit, especially in white surfaces, is very, very bright. Even though in the daylight, it's very hard to see in the sun. Screen isn't that bright on this unit, and I think the Extron's units, especially the 9-inch, is a lot brighter than this unit here. So I mean, that's another letdown, the screen brightness. It's only in the sun. The rest of the time, I can see it just fine. So if the sun is like on your passenger side shining in through the window onto the unit, it's almost impossible to see, and you gotta kind of block your screen with the hand. But that's downside, and the other downside, the wheel buttons don't always skip the song. Other than that, the unit's been stable, boots every time, no issues. Music works flawlessly as long as you're on the unit, quality wise. I do have the Harman Kardon system in my car, so I got the onboard amp, and that's no different than the other non-Harman systems in BMW. So yeah, that'll be it. I mean, it's a pretty cool little unit, definitely an upgrade over stock. So yeah, that's it, guys. It's my review of the 9150A from Eonon.